What is up, everyone? Welcome to episode 210 of the Fight Library. I'm your host, Blaine Henry, and today, Shakur Stevenson. How is he so good? I mean, wow. I normally, on boxing cards, I'll just talk about the main event, kind of like I do at UFC Fight Nights, because there's not many people I really, like on the undercards of boxing. They're kind of scarce. But this one had a really good undercard. So we're going to talk about three fights on the undercard. Whew. And I'm tired and sleepless. And I'm yawning a lot. If you listened to the last episode, you probably heard it. It's probably going to happen in this episode too. So anyways, before we get into this episode, please drop a sub, drop a review, drop a like, comment, everything. What you thought about Shakur Stevenson, Jamel Herring, Nico Ali Walsh, all of them. We're going to be talking about a good bit of fights today. So yeah, get at me on Patreon, Fight Library. There I got some exclusive content there. I'm going to be working on getting some more stuff to you soon. Just new baby and stuff. Got that coming in. Anyways, so let's go ahead and dive on in. First fight I want to talk about is somebody who's been on the show before, Haven Brady Jr. He's been on the podcast. I don't think he's been on YouTube, but I'm going to have to get him on because he fought Roberto Negrete for a round fight. Haven's only 3-0, 4-0 now. But this was a 4-round fight. There's a decent showing for him here. Haven has really good straight punches, and he pivots around well. His head movement's pretty good, but he kind of jabs a little too late, I feel like. And that leads to him, he's getting these long jabs, and Negrete's coming in over the top, stepping in, popping. But, Brady, he managed to fight well. He had, good rear uppercut. More body work for Brady. He's circling to the power hand of Negrete, though, and I'd really like to see him circle away from that power hand, just to avoid those bigger shots, because he was getting hit pretty flush, and you gotta get knocked out like that. So, yeah. He circles to the left. He got caught with a huge right hook, and I was like, oh, this is not good. But in the end, Haven Brady got the win, unanimous decision. Next fight we're going to talk about is Evan Holyfield versus Charles Stanford. If Evan Holyfield sounds familiar, it's because it sounds like Evander Holyfield. And that's even the reason for that is because that's his son. I looked it up. I was like, wait, that's his son, right? Because I didn't know of Evan before him, but he's actually a pretty good fighter. I didn't really take notes on Isley also. He fought after this, I believe, but Isley got a win, the Olympian. But yeah, so Holyfield, he's dipping down. It looked like he was dipping down for a double leg takedown in round one. It was weird. It's kind of odd. Stanford was landing clean shots coming forward, though. Apparently he was an MMA fighter, though, but he came and brought the fight. Brought pressure. Holyfield, at the end of round one, he starts to let it go and overwhelm Stanford. And then round two was really where the fight was done. Stanford knew he was outclassed, outmatched, because this is a Holyfield, and comes in throwing just haymakers, So Holyfield sets, he throws a lead left at wobbled Stanford, and then a right to finally put him down, and he was like knocked out clean. It was a beautiful knockout, it really was. Stanford, I think his head kind of started twitching a little bit I don't know, it could have been bad, but it wasn't, and he's good. So yeah, Stanford didn't look bad for our MMA fighter going boxer. He did a lot better than most people would, and he took on a tougher opponent than most MMA fighters boxing do. So yeah, next fight I want to talk about is Nico Ali Walsh, grandson of the great Muhammad Ali, and James Wesley II. I really like what Nico brought to the table. This is his second pro fight, and they're giving him the rub big time because of his name. He's real light on his feet, and Wesley started finding success over the top, and he landed a big overhand right, but Nico ate it. Nico goes up and down really, really well in this fight. A right hook to a lead, a high lead hook, or a right hook high. I'm sorry, it was a right hook high, and a lead hook low, and it was just beautiful. A beautiful feint to set up a big right at the end of round one for Nico. And then round two comes in, and Wesley starts getting pieced up here. You can see where these boxers that are real boxers come in and start just computing, and that's going to be the next stage of everything. Wesley, he's getting wild over the top. And then Nico threw this great just 1-2 that was textbook Muhammad Ali. I loved it. I like Muhammad Ali. He's one of my favorite boxers. And seeing Nico throw the 1-2 just like his Pappy did, I think he calls him Pappy or something like that, Poppy. 1-2 was amazing. And then another big 1-2, and it knocked down Wesley at the bell. I was like, yes, great. So round 3 comes around, and James Wesley II comes out swinging, and, Walsh is good to bang. He's all right with it. He catches him with a big right squared up, and it knocks him down again, and corner waves the fight off. I was like, yep, good call. Nico Ali Walsh wins via retirement at the end of round 2 or 3. Main event, though, Shakur Stevenson versus Jamel Herring. First big test. This young man is 17-0, 24 years old, taking on a veteran, Jamel Herring. What a performance Shakur put on. He was in the driver's seat the entire time. I'm talking just from the bell. A bunch of jabs early on. Shakur's very, very fast. And then he kind of, computes and starts walking down Herring. And he's just smooth, man. He dips. He's got the head movement. He's got the everything. He's the whole package, man. The whole package. I was super hyped on what Shakur was bringing to the table. It's tough. Herring's tough, though. And that's what his kind of thing's been. And, that's Bud's training partner, and Bud was sitting there. I think the announcer said at one point in time that Shakur was staring at Bud like, you see what I'm doing to your boy? At 24 years old, he could put on some size. And, man, Shakur versus Bud, what? That's a possibility. He's going to have to fight Lomachenko first. And Teofimo's going up, so he's not going to have to fight them. But, Tank's a good fight for him in the future. I don't know. Shakur is the future, though, bro. I'm telling you. So, he comes out in round 7. He's suffocating Herring at this point, man. It's just a bunch of volume from Shakur. And it's kind of, it's weird because he's a volume striker, but he's not always. He's really good on the inside. This he showed, I can strike on the outside, and I'm real good. And he did it against a world champion in Jamel Herring, which is awesome. I love seeing that. This young man, he didn't want to fight for a vacant belt. He said, no, I'm going to take a belt off of a champion. If you look at the dude's Twitter bio, it says future pound-for-pound king. He doesn't want to be future world champion. He wants to be the pound-for-pound best in the world. He has lofty goals. So, yeah, Shakur, he starts to come in. He's suffocating him. And it was funny because, round 8, there's a big punch to the junk, and Herring just eats it like a man, grabs his junk and says, you hit me low. And I was like, oh, goodness. But one thing I really noticed about Stevenson, he was really consistent the entire fight. And that was very, very inspiring from a young 24-year-old. I'm going to keep saying this over and over. And round 9, Shakur smells blood. And round 10, he smells blood. And he's not suffocating you anymore. He's picking his shots. And they're all power shots. And they're all hitting. And they all hurt. Ref eventually calls it off. And it was really kind of a weird, call out or call off, but I kind of, it was saving him from himself. So I liked it. I really, really liked what Shakur brought to the table, though. He was super just impressive with what he was doing as a 24-year-old. Think about that. So who does he fight next? I mean, obviously it's going to be a can or something, but Oscar Valdez is the guy he wants. That's the champ, apparently, and he wants that. I see him eventually moving up to lightweight, and that's, Teofimo Lopez. That's his division. But also you got Tank, you got Jojo Diaz, Devin Haney, Lomachenko. You've got all these guys. You got Ryan Garcia, who's a future star too. Shameless plug, that's a technical readout coming on his Luke Campbell win from this year. As soon as I record the voice and put it together. But, yeah, there's so many good fights for Shakur, man. And, he's 24. If this kid keeps getting good, he might be the pound-for-pound best fighter. Think about that, because by the time he's 28, Canelo might be done. Bud might be done. And you got these young guys like Lopez, Devin Haney, eventually Garcia, and now Shakur Stevenson. Dude's a beast. He's an absolute monster. And if I'm Haney or Diaz or Tank or whoever, I'm avoiding Shakur because this kid's got it all. He's got heavy hands. I mean, sure, he's not like a knockout artist or anything, but he's good. He's so good. Seriously, that was my performance of the night. Not Putinowski knocking out Bombardier at KSW, not Rico Verhoeven. It was Shakur Stevenson. This young man's amazing. You need to watch the fight. You need to watch all of his fights because he's good. Anyways, guys, I reckon that's going to do us for today. Yeah, I appreciate everyone who listened, and share it and do everything that tweet at me and all. Get at me on Twitter, Blaine Henry TFL, where I talk about, I don't know, fights. I'm going to hit the hay for the day, guys. I'm going to try and get Nico Ali Walsh on. I'm going to reach out to him in his camp. That'd be cool to get an interview with him, yeah? Till next time, probably next weekend.